Welcome back to That's So Vegas. I'm Christine, your host here with the fantastic, fabulous, and very interesting, Renee. I always want to say Holly because I had this Hawaiian mode
Thing?
going. Yes, did you get that? The Hawaiian thing going on? Renee Hale. It just in my head it keeps coming up Holly, but we were talking a little bit about your career as an entertainer, and then
Right.
you moved to Vegas, and then you became an event and destination planner and did a wonderful thing out at the opening of Lake Las Vegas,
Absolutely.
moving Earth and probably moved a lot of people too. But was there any of those events back then? Did you have any event that was particularly funny or particularly challenging? And you're still doing the business, right?
Oh, the business is
Yeah,
big.
it's good. But
Yes, absolutely. There were a couple of things. One that stands out in my mind was I had a client that wanted me to get them a jazz singer. And the way I grew up, I didn't listen to the Beatles or the Rolling Stones. In my house, it was always Lou Rawls and Joe Williams and Sarah Vaughan, and that's how I grew up in my teen years. And when a client asked me to bring a jazz singer down to San Diego, I said, "What about Lou Rawls?" He said, "Perfect." So I got Lou Rawls.
wow,
And
congrats.
it was wonderful. And I said to Lou, "I'm so excited because of you. I started singing, and I had this great singing career in Las Vegas." He said, "I'll tell you what, if you book me again, I want you to perform with me."
Whoa.
So sure enough, a client a month later said, "Do you have a jazz singer? I think our company would like to do a jazz singer." And it so happens in those days we still had Caesar's Palace showroom, which was the showroom in Las Vegas. And for that client, I bought out the showroom, brought in a huge orchestra, brought in Lou Rawls, and his manager had sent me two songs, "At Last" and "Fine Brown Frame." And I learned those songs, and I got to sing them with Lou Rawls.
That must have
And
really
I said, "That is like the best." And then I paid him. And I got to give him a check. It was a beautiful thing.
It was all the way
It was
around
great.
beautiful.
It was
What a
great.
moment in life.
Right?
Oh,
Right? Yeah,
some
that was
people
really-
never get that opportunity to
It was
really.
fabulous.
Yes, I can only
I didn't
imagine.
think it could get any better.
But it just gets better the older we
Every
get.
day.
Yeah, we were talking about that on break, how to get older gracefully. But just keep reinventing ourselves, right?
That's it.
But you did move on to something, or you're adding something to your.
Absolutely.
You have a fantastic portfolio here with
Thank
your
you.
life and
Thank you.
everything. But we need to tell the viewers a little bit about an epiphany you had with your sister just 2 short years ago, wasn't it?
It was. It was. Our mom, Eileen Hale, was just a phenomenal, fun woman. And she passed away in July of 2014. Well, she'd always said to me, "When I pass, I don't ever want to have a funeral. I don't want people crying. I don't want a service. And I want to have a party."
Bless
And
her
people
heart.
that knew her knew that that's absolutely what she wanted, except for my sister. She said, "What are you talking about, a party?" And I said, "If you look at Mom's will, she says she wants a party planned by me, but she did want Rabbi Mel Hecht to say a few words." And he's a fun guy.
Yes,
and,
I've
and
met-
He's wonderful.
Yeah, the rabbi. He's
And
wonderful. Yeah.
he married my sister, me, did all the bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvah. You know, he's just a great guy. So when she passed, I said to my sister, "We've got to have a celebration of life for Mom at a club." Well, you've got to understand, my mother would go with me probably 4 or 5 nights a week to see all my friends perform in all the
Lovely.
clubs around town.
That's wonderful.
And she'd say, "We've got to go out." If I said I was tired, she'd say, "Oh, you rest when you get old." "Okay, Mom."
Ain't
So
that
we
the
go
truth?
out. So I said to my sister, "We've got to have it at a club." She said, "No, my home." I said, "A club." And her home is beautiful. I said, "I'll tell you what, if you let me remove all your furniture and create a club, then we got it."
Sisterly compromise.
Total. It was perfect. She's like, "Do your thing." So I went into planning mode, and we created a beautiful club. I had her favorite band. 7 of her favorite singers came and did a jam session.
Wow. Wonderful.
She was saying when she was in the hospital, "Oh, what I would do for a mimosa." So as people walked in, we had mimosas. We had
Love it. That's beautiful.
just so many details, so many details. And by the end, people thought they were going to be there to memorialize her, and it would be very sad, and they would be grieving. by the end of that event, they were dancing in the aisles. And that's what she wanted.
Oh, I know.
And so many people said to me, will you do this for my parents, or could I pre-plan my own celebration with you? And that night, I talked to my sister, and she says, you know what? You need to do this. This is the last gift from Mom.
That is a gift. Wow. That gives me chills.
That's exactly what happened. So I started putting all of this together, and it's taken 2 years. And
so you actually have a company.
There is now a business.
A business that is, and it's called Life.
It's called Creative Life Celebrations.
Yes, you have to have the creative in there because that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And I've looked at your website, and of course, being the planner that you are, you've covered so many aspects. And one thing I like that you address it when there is a death, whether it's expected or unexpected, and probably more when it's unexpected, there are a lot of details. And part of that, I think, is good psychology. I think the mourning process, even in different cultures, is to keep the person occupied, to keep their mind off of the grief,
Right.
But another part, though, it's just a lot of detail to attend to. And you try to cover all that obituary writing.
We will do the obituary writing. If you have people coming in from out of town, we'll set up your room blocks. We'll set up the transportation, the venue. There's so many wonderful venues here in Vegas. And that all depends on the person who's passed, who I call the honoree.
Okay.
Because we're going to honor their life.
Exactly.
We want to honor what they wanted and the way they would, they want to go out. And that's important to do things their way.
And I think the remembrances would be good when you're remembering the happy times and not the sad times. I mean, yes, we've seen movies about people who get into brawls at funerals. They want to bring up their... Well, you had to this helped you deal with, I'm sure you really mourned your mom.
Absolutely.
It sounds like she was more than just a mom. She was a best friend. Everything to you and your sister. Did this process, do you think, was that more healing than had you gone and sat Shiva for 7 days and cried and torn your garments and hair? Or?
It was very strange. I went right away into business mode and designed logo and website, and that took about a year. And after a year, I looked at it, and I talked to my sister, and she said, "There's way too many words." And I said, "Oh, you're right." But that was my way of grieving, was the writing.
I see.
And I said, "No, this isn't. People aren't going to be interested in all that." But that's how I grieved. And I redid everything and got the right look and the right feel, and more of just a touch of everything that I originally wrote. And now I think it's right on point.
And right where it's supposed to be. But I understand, too, there is always an element of grief. I mean, there is that hole in the heart.
Absolutely.
And, I love the concept here. Again, I've seen enough of my own grief. Out of 8 in my family, only 3 of us are left, and that's been, and friends and associates along the way. We're going to talk in the next segment, too, about it's not just for people that you're doing this, but I see also that you can actually do something for pets, which I find interesting because there could be all kinds of pets in this world. Have you had any opposition, any negative? Because it sounds like such a positive, and I'm going to say spiritual kind of thing.
Absolutely.
It's a gift that you're bringing to people.
Absolutely.
I'm wondering if there were any naysayers, or have you hit any stumbling blocks? Or
I have to say 99% of the people love the concept and love that we're celebrating someone instead of just thinking about what we've lost. Think about what this person
or what you didn't say, or what you didn't do, or all that's guilt, I guess, right? Grievers, bereavement, guilt, or something.
Right, but they're depending on some religious or traditional. Some traditions. I've had one Orthodox Jewish friend's mom who was like, "That's just not for me." She's 90, and I totally understand.
Yes, tradition's important to her.
Absolutely,
it's a mantle that they need to
wear.
I understand that,
and that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
But for those that want to celebrate,
kind of like the Irish, the Irish wake has been around for a long time.
Absolutely.
They just go get crap faced.
Exactly. Yeah.
They drink their way through the whole thing. And it's a good, there's
Whatever
laughter and
works.
tears, whatever works.
Whatever
Whatever
works.
works to get you through that. We're going to talk about that too. I want to talk more about the pet thing. That's kind of, that could be very intriguing. Quick shout out to the Red Roof Inn. Free continental breakfast and Wi-Fi for guests right across from the Hard Rock Hotel. Do not go away. We're going to talk about how to keep pet owners happy.